Hi everybody. It is Thursday. The week continues. It was fascinating last night to watch a press conference take place, a presidential press conference where questions were asked and answered, and people weren't called names and like junior high school time. It was actually a pretty grown-up experience I hadn't seen for many years. So that was pretty cool. Here's fingers are crossed that there's a lot of stuff that they've got the wheels greased and running, and here's hoping that we will start to see some light at the end of a lot of tunnels we're going through right now, both with financially, with disease, with so much. But I feel more optimistic than I felt in a long time, so here's hoping. I just talked to Blue, and the XL t-shirts arrived last night. Finally, after like such a long back order. So after I finish up here, I think I'm doing a quick, I did a couple of things for the virtual NAMM show, videos and interview things that they're going to be playing, but I think there's one on today that might have a live chat stream going, so I'm going to jump in there if I can, and then after that I'm going to go over, pick the shirts up, come home, fill all the orders that have been sitting on the table for God knows how long now, and ship off all those shirts and get that done. And lots of things going on here, but every day's really busy. Sometimes I sit there and I wonder what I did, but I know I'm busy at the end of the day. So I'm going to take care of things, but I started thinking about music and what to do. It was really fun, the responses to the interview that Russ Kunkel and I did with Don Lombardi. It's great that a lot of people said, "Oh, we went and checked out parts 2 and 3." Man, loved it because it was so much fun doing that. Just to sit with Russ, pretty much. Russ and I never really talk about things. Like, we've played together forever, but we've never actually really talked about playing and different things. For us, it's been so organic and so natural that from the first time we played together, it just all, boom, just fell right into place. And so having Don there to kind of, pose questions and direct things was really great. I really loved it. And there's some ideas for doing some more stuff with DW. And I would do anything for him. It's a great company, and like I've talked about before, Don and I go back to playing as teenagers together. He's one of the oldest relationships I actually have in the music industry. We didn't even realize it until a couple of years ago, but it's all been rekindled, and that's great. But so I was thinking about music, and I had just spoken with Judith Owen, because we were talking about maybe doing another a cappella video, and she's in the studio with John Fishbeck in New Orleans right now, because her main residence is in New Orleans in the Quarter, and they've been in the studio finishing up the new album that we're working on, and I think they're going to send me some files to work on back here at home. So I'm sitting here thinking about Judith, and I thought I'm just going to, we've done so much together, I thought I would revisit a couple of Judith's songs today. The first one I'm going to do, excuse me, is it's a Joni Mitchell song, because this is from the Rediscovered album. So these were all songs that other people had done, and then Judith took them in and reinterpreted the way a stylist can do it. And so it's a song called Cherokee Louise. Deepest lyrics on this thing. It's like when you really focus on the story, it's a rough one. But Joni's one of the most remarkable writers ever. And we did a little showcase at Judith's house here in Santa Monica, and this was before the pandemic, invited a whole bunch of people. It was like 40 people in the living room, and Judith and Pedro and I did this little showcase. And Larry Klein was there, who produced Joni, was married to Joni for a while and stuff, and after it was over, he just came up and said, "That's the most unbelievable version of Cherokee Louise." He says, "It's really something special." That was a good stamp of approval. Let me double check on this one. Yeah, it was It's Pedro on percussion and Judith on keyboards and singing. Helen Gillette is playing cello on this, and Nicholas Payton is playing trumpet on this. It's a very haunting song, though. It's pretty deep. So I'm going to go ahead and play this one, and then there's one more after that, and then I'm going to look into NAMM and see if I can destroy anybody's careers by giving advice on there. So here we go. This is Cherokee Louise. Now on the original on this, like the beginning, I'm doing it all with volume pedal and stuff, but I'm not hooked up. So I'm going to kind of dig in, but it would have all been volumed in more, treating it more like uprighty on it. So here we go.
Cherokee Louise is hiding in this tunnel in the Broadway bridge. We're crawling on our knees, we've got flashlights and batteries, we've got cold cuts from the fridge. Last year, about this time, we used to climb up in the branches just to sway the some breeze. Now the cops on the street, they want my Cherokee Louise. Cherokee Louise. She can't even come to our house, but I know where she'll go. To the place where you can stand and press your hands like it was bubble bath and dust about high as me. Down under the street, my friend, Cherokee Louise.
got off a little bit during it because it's really hard to hear the pulse when I'm playing this loud once again. Because I really loved on the track, normally I was buried really low and just really supportive of it and not just sitting here digging in. So we'll move on and try to forget that one. And then she did, it was really great. It was a Justin Timberlake song called Can't Stop the Feeling. And this was also Pedro. And Paul Beard played organ on this. We did this, I think, we might have done this at Brian Ferry's studio in London because Paul was MDing for Brian Ferry and we were all on the road together with Judith and Brian. So he's playing organ on this one, and Amy Keys ended up singing backgrounds with her. And Amy's been with Phil Collins and Johnny Halliday and you name it. Amy's one of the great background singers, so she came in and joined us on this one. So this is Can't Stop the Feeling. So let me grab this one here. Just another Judith moment.
Sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I got hot blood in my body when it drops. Oh no, and I can't take my eyes off it. Moving so phenomenally, room on lock, the way we rock it. So don't stop, 'cause under the lights everything goes. Nowhere to hide, we're getting you close. And when we move, you already know. So just imagine, I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, can't stop the feeling. So just dance, can't stop the feeling. So just dance, can't stop the feeling. So I keep on dancing, 'cause I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I got hot blood in my body when it drops. Oh no, no, and I can't take my eyes off it. Moving so phenomenally, room on lock, the way we rock it. So don't stop, under the lights everything goes. Nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. And when we move, you already know. So just imagine, I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, can't stop the feeling. So just dance, can't stop the feeling. So just dance, can't stop the feeling. So dance, can't stop the feeling. So just dance, can't stop the feeling. So just dance, can't stop the feeling. So I dance. Yes, I keep on dancing.
And a squeak. Okay. The thing that's cool is if you want, go check out like the Justin Timberlake version of Can't Stop the Feeling and see where Judith took it. And the same with Cherokee Louise. Check out Joni's version of it. And Judith really just goes these places. And on Rediscovered, what other songs did we? I think I've played some of them. We did play that funky music, White Girl. she did that on here, and Summer Nights, and this is where we did Blackbird and Ladies Man, another Joni tune. Hotline Bling was on there, and Shape of You, all kinds of Dream a Little Dream. It's really fun. I think Judith is one of the finest composers that I get to work with, and I love her original material, but I also love when we do songs that she's reinterpreting that are standards and other songs in other genres that suddenly she whips it out. And it's just fun. It's just fun. It's some creative stuff going on that's always a joy to do. So I'm gonna check out and see what's going on with NAMM. It's so sad. It's so sad not having the NAMM show. That is one of the great things to look forward to every year as a musician, is going down there. Not so much for gear, even though it was because of NAMM that I discovered Dingwall. And this was probably 18, 19, 20, I don't know how many years ago, where this guy came up to me on one of the aisles with a bass and asked if I would try it. And normally I never did that because I've always had Frankenstein and a couple of other things that I thought took care of business. So I wasn't really out there looking for gear. But when I saw his Sheldon's bass and saw the fan fretting and all that, I said, well, explain to me. And he gave me the whole rundown on the whole concept of what the bass is all about. And I tried it and instantly fell in love with it. And so we've had a long relationship. And it was a similar situation for me with Warwick. The first Warwick bass I played was at a booth, and it was a star bass, a fretless 4-string star bass. And I'd been looking for a fretless. I didn't really have anything I was crazy, but I had stuff that could do the job, but nothing that really kind of was doing it for me. And as soon as I picked up that star bass and played that, I went, oh man, this thing's got a nice growl, and it's really good. And that started my whole relationship with Warwick. And the thing I really let people know is that I have 2 signature basses out, one with Dingwall and one with Warwick, and they are so different that it's not like I'm one of these guys out just hustling gear, for the sake of getting some free gear or something like that. They're dramatically different instruments. The Dingwall is a 5-string, number 1 solid body, and well, here it is sitting right here. And the Warwick is a 4-string chambered semi-acoustic bass. So the sounds are different on them. They both serve different purposes for me. But I really love both of them. So it's one of those things that the amount of stuff that I've actually ever endorsed is very, very limited. And I'm really proud of both of these basses. And so I got that. But as I was saying, though, I really missed the NAMM show. It's a great time to just see cats socially. There's so many people that's the only opportunity we ever had to bump into each other. Instrument builders I know from other parts of the world, from different parts of this country, and that's our watering hole. So losing it to the pandemic really kind of sucks. So they're doing things though virtually, and they can't really stop. It's still an industry, but it really had to be retooled for this year. Hopefully next year, maybe by next year, we'll be able to have the NAMM show again in for real. But we'll see. Everything's coming in baby steps. That's the whole thing. It's like you want to rush. As soon as there's a glimmer of hope. It's like I was listening to doctors talking about the vaccines and saying, look, even if you get the vaccine, that doesn't mean you can't transmit the disease. So we've got to just take this all very, very carefully. And it's really funny. I'm sitting here talking to you, and I see there's a phone call coming in on my phone, which I'm not going to pick up. But it's Judith Owen, and she has no idea that I was doing her today. Not doing her, but doing her music. So I'll call her after we're done. But I'm going to go check out and see if there's anything I can do for NAMM today, and then I'm going to run and pick up T-shirts and fulfill T-shirt orders, and then come back, and I have a 5 o'clock interview to do, and lots and lots of stuff. So I'm going to get on with it, and you get on with your day. Everybody seems to, at least of all the people that I deal with, 99% of them are all breathing such a breath of relief at this point that there's potential now to really heal and get this train back on the tracks again after it got derailed for a period here. Best wishes to everybody. Be safe. Be safe. That's the thing. I can't emphasize that enough. At this time in our history, just be safe. If you know, I know people that up close that have now got this disease, and I'm hoping so much for them to come through this as well as can be. So stay safe, and again, thank you to everybody out there who's working so hard. The people in the medical industries, the people in, I had to go to the grocery store yesterday, and just seeing the people there behind their plexiglass there all day long. I go, man, I hope you're okay. They're really good people and working really hard and all kinds of stuff. So we all know it. We all know it. Just do it, and then give a thought to these people who are out there working. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you. Got a full plate here, so I'm gonna start emptying some of the stuff off of it now. So I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.